At number 2, it's the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Now, tons of returning production, right? They return more snaps than anybody in America. They get back nearly 2/3 of their snaps. You bring back 14 starters. They're one of only 4 programs in the entire sport returning 17 or more players who started football games for them last year. You get the head coach back, offensive coordinators back, defensive coordinators back, starting quarterbacks back. I mean, pretty good spot. A perfect sheet in all 4 boxes. Pair that with the number 1 returning snap count in America, and you're going to be cooking with gas. Look, the quarterback, CJ Carr, he's back for his redshirt sophomore season. Same system, same quarterback, second year of it. And the reports out of fall camp is then they've been about as good as they get. Take everything you read about fall camp write-ups, take it with a grain of salt. I'll believe this one because I've seen it. And Mike Denbrock, who runs that offense, he says the staff is now very comfortable letting Carr kind of steer the ship whenever possible, which is very different than what we heard last year. Last year, they're like, all right, let's kind of coach around him and let him rise to the occasion as the season goes along. Now it's like, hey, CJ, it's your show. Here's the keys. We trust you. Go do your thing. And if you listen to Denbrock, he also said the offense is actually a lot further ahead today than it was at this point last August. That's a pretty good spot to be. Jaden Greathouse is full go at wide receiver, no limitations whatsoever, which is the one health question they had walking into camp. And the only job that might be open at this point is the right guard spot. And Denbrock said they might not know that until the second or third week of fall camp because there are a couple guys that are trying to get back from injury. On defense, that's what's frightening about this group. Drake Bowen back, Jalen Sneed back, both play linebacker. Boubacar Traore is amazing coming off the edge. You get a couple lockdown guys in Christian Gray and Leonard Moore at corner. You get a Don Schuler back at safety. So you get 6 guys that have already been elite for multiple years in some cases, and every one of those guys has a chance to take over the game. Now, Chris Ash, there was a bit of a learning curve early in his tenure last year. And as he got more comfortable and confident with his own personnel, you started to see things change. You started to see things take hold. And the multiplicity that they can play with now, playing man or zone, will be beneficial as they continue to move forward. And if you listen to how he described standard camp in 6 words, he said, well, we want 5 to 6 seconds of hell. Well, that's pretty good. You get 11 players operating with speed and violence. Well, it seems like a pretty good install to me. Now, here's why it all matters this particular year. Because last year, Notre Dame went 10-2. They did not make the college football playoff. A 10-2 Notre Dame team ranked inside the top 10, sat at home, and watched 12 other teams compete for the national championship. Now, under the format, if they finish in the top 12, they're automatically in because there have been some tweaks from last year. Last year, they just landed on the wrong side of that line, and it cost them everything. And that's the entire 2026 season for this program in one sentence. And every single player in that building knows it. Now, the argument against my own pick, because I promised you Monday that I would make it before somebody else did, Notre Dame plays the 56th hardest schedule in America. Only 2 opponents right now are ranked in the preseason polls. That's BYU and Miami. The projections have them finishing better than 10-2, 11-1, frankly, if we're going to round some numbers. So let me be direct about what I'm claiming here and what I'm not. I'm not saying that Notre Dame has an impossible task with the 12 games they have in the regular season. They have arguably the most manageable road of anybody in the top 10, top 15, top 20. And part of it is because they're that good. But here's the sharp edge of it, which really could make the whole season for them. Can Notre Dame survive 2 losses? Probably not. Like they went 10-2 last year and the committee left them out. So with the schedule that's ranked 56th and only 2 ranked opponents on it right now, a second loss doesn't necessarily cost them a seed. It might cost them entry all the way because there's nothing really left on the slate that might be impressive enough to argue their way back in. Doesn't mean that SMU can't be ranked. Some teams could overachieve for sure, but Notre Dame is going to need to take care of business. So here's what I'm saying. Anything worse than 11-1 should be a relative disappointment for this football team. Not because the schedule is soft, but because the roster is that good. Everybody back. The defense, you can make a case, is the best in the country. The quarterback is in year number 2. Same offense, same play caller. You get back nearly 2/3 of your snap from a year ago. This is a top 5, top 6 roster at worst in all of college football. And when that happens, 11 wins is the floor. That's the expectation for the Fighting Irish for me this year. And every single source you look at has Notre Dame in the top 5. I have them second. And the only reason why I don't have them first is because of the talent profile of the team that's sitting right in front of them. But I love the Irish. And I think the Irish this year, they're going to be there at the very end. It's just whether or not they can finish, unlike they were able to do just a couple years ago.